They say, the elephants should be walking and dogs should be barking. So elephants don't have to chase all the dogs out. So why are you asking Biden government? That's the job of any government to do. You cannot simply occupy the public space just because you don't have house.
Research Associate Dr. Tilak Bahadur Shrestha, sir. Welcome to the Gorkha Spirit.
Hello, namaste.
How do you see the leftist alliance?
Now, this is just a nomenclature. It's basically all about all the loser party coming together. And since our Governor Thapaji has not joined yet, that's why they are calling it communist, leftist alliances. If the Governor Thapa also joins in, then there will be a new tag called the socialist, the alliances, right? So basically they are trying to come together, all the losers, say Congress, MLA and the Maoists, to somehow counter for their own existence against the Rashtrapa. So that's the issue like that. Otherwise, they have been uniting so many times before and they're breaking up so many times before, right? So what's the point about it?
So this time they just joined together in a program. So is this affect their alliance?
No, it does not affect at all, in my opinion. It will affect if our honorable Biden's government does not do a good job. If they do a good job, those alliances will come and go, make no difference whatsoever. But if the current government of our honorable Biden Shah does not do a good job, and then those new alliances will come up, even without alliance also, they will try to harm the government. So that's a given. So that's generally have problem. Otherwise not.
So they are just come together with afraid
No,
of
they are
Rashtrapa government.
They are coming because they were in the power before, and they lost the whole power off. And also, if Rashtrapa become very strong, then they will go out of existence, right? And that's how they are fighting for their own existence. And also, if you are making lots of money being in the power and if you get nothing out of it, and then we will fight for that, right? So there is no problem issue about being alliances. There have been so many alliances before came and went. It makes no difference. However, they are coming together to simply to oppose Rashtriya Swadhindra Party. That's about it. Now the tag of leftist or communist alliances because they are together. Now exactly the same thing happens about the Congress also. If the Gagan Thapaji also joins in, then they will have a new tag, socialist the alliances. That's about it.
So at this time, why their alliance?
Very simple. They are thinking Rashtrapa going to chase him off the stage. That's why. They would have done before also. Now they are slowly warming it up. In my opinion, it's very simple. That after losing the election, which they didn't expect to be so bad, the losers. So first, what they will do or they have done is to fight inside the party. Hey, because of you lost, not because of you lost, kind of stuff. So once this process settles down, that is the party, three parties, if they have come up with the head, so that once that thing been settled, then the three will come together to go against the Rashtrapa, go against the Biden Sarkar. That's about it.
They are afraid what they have done in the past.
That's a part of it. That's a part of it. Because the whole thing about the administration run by them was really, really bad administrations, right? And it is full of corruptions and they're trying to please the foreign governments, right? And they have done bad things, and that's why they are, they're out of power. Number two, they're out of money resource. And the third, God forbid from their viewpoint, if they are taken to the court, right? And so for all these reasons, so they're going to go against the government of Honorable Biden Shah. Simple as that. And so they're going to figure out all kinds of excuses and all kinds of alliances, but the bottom line is the same thing. Thank you.
So what do you think their alliance will save from their misdeed in the past?
Now, that is not up to them. it is strictly up to the government of our Honorable Balin Shah. If Balin Shah really take them to court, take them to the work, then they can do nothing about it. But if the current government does not do a good job, then they will have opportunities to go after. So my opinion is very simple. Current government must do a good job. Now there are two parts of it. One is to do the job, and the second part is make sure that it is proper. I mean the process is proper. Otherwise, what may happen is if you do like some technical, legal mistakes, error, so that they will escape to begin with, and second, then you look immature, right? And so, if they have to put them to take them to court, that should be through a proper process, number one. And the second one is, the government also have to explain to the people what they are doing, why they are doing, and here's the result. So there should be a proper explanation. Again, let me repeat again. Number one, they should do the job through the correct process. Number two, they also have to explain to the people what job they are doing, why they are doing, and what's the result. And so the people will see them, what's been going on around here, and that will provide you a positive vote for the current government. Now, let me also add, the current government won not because they have done good job. They didn't do any job yet, right? So that is, I call it like a negative vote in the sense that the people are really, really tired of all the corruption going on the three governments, under the Congress, under the MLA, and under the Maoist, right? And so they want to chase these three bad parties out. That's how the Rajya Sabha came to power. Now, if the Rajya Sabha does not do a good job, then they'll say, in Nepali, what do we say? Te jango mula. If the Rajya Sabha gets this tag, it's done for. So you have to do, what's the solution for that? Very simple. Do good job. Please do good job. Thank you.
So Rajya Sabha's growth is like a dramatic. So do you think they will save their name, fame in the future?
Now, as they say, morning shows the day. So far, I'm very happy the way they have acted. Great. I mean, in the process, you made one or two small mistake. That's not irrelevant. But however, for the long term, say next 3-4 months, if the real good job is done, then they'll survive and they'll good job. And also, let me also add one more thing. Now, lots of people will come to join Rajya Sabha. In that case, I would suggest, or rather request, that they should do some kind of quality control. Otherwise, there are lots of people, if I join Congress, I won't be able to make money. Perhaps I can make more money if you join Rajya Sabha. There are lots of people like that. So you have to have a little quality control so that the real nationalist people will join in, right? And that should be, that's up to them. And also, let me also point one thing out of it, that we have now the two leaders. One is Mr. Ravi Lamisane. He should stay strictly within the party. So that's a big job. It's not a small job to take care of it. And then he has Mr. Balin Shah, who is taking care of government, right? So they should work within their sphere of work and do a good job in both sides. And we need good job in both sides. Thank you.
So the people, analysts, criticize that the government couldn't handle the superpowers in the country. So do you think the superpower is playing here?
I'm sure they will try to influence. That's the nature of even like Nepal, we may trying to influence India or America also, right? Even though it may be a very, very small component of it. But however, I would ask those people that exactly what government done mistakes and what should have done. So unless you point out the problems and unless you also point the solution, mere criticism, it makes no sense. Now, in this case, what I will say is like this. Number one, we have to stick to the so-called non-aligned foreign policies, right? That we have to stick to that. And then we also can come up with zone of peace and other kinds of stuff. That's number one. Number two, we have to have a detailed analysis of the interest of the different countries. So if you go from the top to bottom, say India, China, United States, UK, Japan, you have like Russia and all the France and all the countries, right? And so you have to tally out exactly what are their interests in Nepal, and then figure out where different interests they add together, where they go against each other, right? Now, out of this, correct analysis, then you have to form policies so that we don't get the brunt of it, as simple as that one. And that's how we have to do. Now, I'll give you one example. In case of the Russia and Ukraine issue in the United Nations, both India and China abstained. But Nepal voted for Ukraine against the Russia. So that one I will put them as a mistake. But that's not done by this government, by the older government. Because we are between superpowers of India and China, right? And if both of their interests coincide together, so we should go along with them, right? That's what I think. Thank you.
So, how is their exercise, especially our neighbors in Nepal?
What kind of exercise?
Political, influencing politically?
No, it's like this. Let me put like this. United States, for example, earlier they gave us so-called USAID. That's great, because that means that United States being such a rich and powerful country, and then, we are still poor, but then we're even poorer. So the US government say, hey, you have to help countries like Nepal in education, in the health, in administrative reform, and so many different places, right? That's great. Now things are slightly changing. Now what's happening is, because China is slowly rising, and now the Americans are saying that we also have to help Nepal in terms of economy also. Now, that is the so-called MCC, and which is all over the world. Now, in MCC, if it were only about economic help, that's great, right? But there's a component where Article 7.1 says specifically that the laws of MCCs are higher than Nepal's law. And that's why it's been passed by our parliament. Otherwise, you don't need to do that, right? So that also means the MCC is more powerful than our one constitution. Now, that you have to think twice about it. And I would say no for that. Now, same thing with like a BRI. So all the producers like Mr. Deoba and what's her name, Mrs. Arju, they're talking, Arju Rana Deoba, they were talking about something like, Hanuman Tota and Hanuman Tota, as if the whole BRI is bad. That's a total nonsense. If you really study even Hanuman Tota also, what's wrong with that? Right? That's the choice of the Sri Lanka, not the Chinese choice, right? So anyway, what I'm saying is, we don't have to invite all the BRA as it is. No, you have to do the analysis, and you pick and choose the ones the best for our country, right? Now, here's the issue. If China offers a number of BRI projects, in that case, you have to think all over, make a good analysis, you have a debate on that, and then pick the best ones. You don't have to pick all of them. But because it does not like by some other countries, you say reject. No, that's a very bad thing to do. Thank you.
So, Balin government, especially Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Rajasabha government. So, what they have done up to now is some of the activities are criticized very badly. So, one of them is squatters issue. So, how do you see that issue?
Actually, the question should have been put to the earlier government. Why Communist Party government did not pull all the squad out from there? Why MRA government did not, push them out? Why the Marxist government did not do that? So why are you asking Biden government? That's the job of any government to do. You cannot simply occupy the public space just because you don't have house. So here are two issues. Number one, in Nepal there are so many people without house or housing, right? So the government should come up with a national policy to tackle all of them, not perspective on this, number one. Number two, just because you don't have a house, you just cannot go occupy a public land. So they have to move. There's no question about that. Third, you may add humanitarian component to it, that let them have like a few months of respite so that they can slowly move out of the place. So those things you can work out, but simply criticizing Biden government that they shouldn't have moved settlers is very bad. Now, in this one more thing we have to add. What about the people who is having good time over there? You have a cement, the big building made, and you take rent out of it, and then you call it settlers, right? Homeless settler. That's a crime. And whatever heard was all done by all the political parties, again, Congress, MLA, and Maoists, bring their people over there, occupy public land, and use them in their movements, and they take the money from them, right? Now, that's a crime, and that must be handled. So there are two issues. Number one, you have to go after all the criminals, especially all the political parties. Number two, they have to move out. Third, there has to be one small humanitarian component also in that one. Thank you.
So we are at the end. So what's your suggestions to the government?
For what issue?
So government are criticized nowadays. So what's your suggestion to the government to
Well-
do good for the nation, to
Well,
the people?
there are two simple issues. Number one, you have to work good. They say, the elephant should be walking and dogs should be barking. So elephant don't have to chase all the dogs out. Number one. Number two, what's a good job? Number one, corruption. That's the first priority, number one, corruption. Number two, making this administration more, systematic and more scientific. And number third, and it's very, very critical, is to reform our education system. Now, we are producing people who has no, value of our own heritage. Now, when we say education, knowledge, shiksha, and all that, we are talking about instilling values of our heritage. So we need to know what the Buddha said. We need to know what Prakriti was, what the Siddha was, what was the Sakhwal who paid everybody's, debt, right? Who was the Janak, who was the, those things we need to know. That will instill a pride in your heritage. Earlier, we used to help Korea, we used to sell rice to the Korea. Now we are going out to work there. So now economy goes up and down, it happens. We were rich before, poor now, maybe rich again. Now that is changing factor, but what factors keeps us Nepali? That's the pride, the learning, understanding, and the pride in our heritage. That's the first priority in education. Now let me again emphasize, what do you mean by education? It is not becoming doctors, engineers, I don't know. That's a vocational training. So number one is about having a positive attitude and atmabal in the spirit inside. Number two, what our heritage says. That means satyabada, prayabada, speak truth, speak sweet, honor your fathers, parents, honor your teachers, and all that. Third, you have to work on your words, say what is, why, how, where, and those kinds of questions you have to research on your own. After only the second part comes, which is vocational training. You need engineers, you need doctors, you need geologists, you need sociologists, you need economists, all kinds of stuff, right? So that's the training. However, if you have a degree but you have no values, then that's not education, and that will give you the current. What's going on is, as soon as you graduate 10+2 degree, then you want to go abroad. Now, not because they want to make money, not because they want to educate it, no, because that is becoming like a norm in our society. That unless you go out, you are not a person. Now, that's a very bad thing to do, and that is coming directly from the mishandling our education system. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for joining with us.